Have you ever been jolted awake in the middle of the night by a sharp, twisting pain shooting through your calf or foot? That deep, stabbing cramp that makes you wince, groan, and reach helplessly for the edge of the bed. You're not alone. Leg cramps, especially nighttime cramps, are one of the most distressing and overlooked issues older adults face. They're not just annoying. They can steal your sleep, disrupt your balance, and make simple activities like walking to the kitchen or standing from a chair feel like a gamble. And the worst part? Most people are told it's just a normal part of aging. But what if it's not? What if the real cause is something hiding in plain sight, something on your plate? You might be surprised to learn that a few specific foods can either ease those cramps or make them much worse. Today, we're going to show you exactly which 7 foods help make leg cramps disappear and which innocent-looking habits might be silently working against your body. We'll tell you which foods protect your legs and which one could secretly harm your independence. If any part of what you just heard feels familiar, if you've ever rubbed your leg in pain at 2 a.m. or hesitated before climbing the stairs because of tightness or cramping, then this video is for you. Please consider clicking the subscribe button and tapping the like icon. And if this topic speaks to you personally, drop a 1 in the comments. If not, type 0. Your voice matters, and we read every single one. Let's start with the first food that can help make leg cramps vanish: bananas. Most people immediately think of bananas when they experience leg cramps. They're often called nature's electrolyte pill because of their well-known potassium content. You've probably heard friends or even doctors say, "Eat a banana. It'll stop your cramps." And in many ways, that's true. Bananas do provide a good dose of potassium, which is a critical mineral your muscles need to contract and relax properly. But here's what many seniors don't realize. It's not just about potassium. It's about the balance between potassium, magnesium, calcium, and sodium. Here's the twist. If you eat bananas thinking it's a cure-all and ignore the other minerals, you might only solve part of the problem, and sometimes even make things worse. For example, if your sodium levels are already low due to blood pressure medications or low-salt diets, piling on potassium without adjusting the other minerals can create an imbalance. Your muscles might feel even tighter, not looser. You could feel more fatigued after walking short distances or notice odd stiffness in your calves even after a full night's rest. And sometimes these symptoms creep in so quietly you might not even associate them with what you're eating. You just assume it's age or worse, something irreversible. But the truth is, bananas are still a wonderful choice when consumed smartly. What your legs truly crave isn't just potassium, it's harmony. When you pair a banana with a small handful of almonds or a bit of Greek yogurt, you introduce magnesium and calcium into the mix. That's when the magic happens. You'll notice fewer nighttime cramps, less twitching, and perhaps even a better ability to stretch your legs in the morning without discomfort. Some seniors even describe it as the first time my legs felt light in months. And here's a little trick. Try eating a banana around 30 minutes before your evening walk or light stretching. Your muscles will have what they need to move more fluidly, and you may find that those usual post-walk cramps don't show up at all. Just don't rely on bananas alone. The key is pairing them wisely, and we'll talk about more of those pairing foods as we move along. Now, the second food on this list might surprise you. It's something most people think of as a warm, comforting treat, but it may hold the power to stop cramps before they even begin. The second food on our list is something you might already enjoy during chilly evenings or as a relaxing drink before bedtime. It's warm milk, yes, that simple, soothing glass of milk that many of us remember from childhood. But don't let its simplicity fool you. Milk can be a powerful ally in the fight against leg cramps if it's used the right way. Now, most people know that milk contains calcium, and calcium is famous for strengthening bones. But what many seniors don't realize is that calcium also plays a key role in muscle contraction. Without enough of it, your nerves and muscles start misfiring, leading to those sudden jolts of pain that wake you up in the middle of the night. That burning cramp in your calf or that seizing pain in your thigh. Often, that's your body crying out for help, specifically for calcium. But here's the twist. Not all calcium is created equal in your body. As you age, your stomach's ability to absorb calcium can decline. This is especially true for those who take certain medications, like proton pump inhibitors or even common antacids. These drugs reduce stomach acid, which you actually need to break down and absorb calcium properly. So while milk offers calcium, your body may not always be absorbing as much of it as you think. That's why pairing milk with magnesium-rich foods like oats or leafy greens during the day can enhance its muscle-relaxing benefits at night. There's also another reason milk is effective. It contains vitamin D, at least. Fortified milk does. Vitamin D is the quiet hero here. Without it, your body can't transport and use calcium properly. Think of vitamin D as the key that unlocks the calcium's power. And unfortunately, most seniors have lower levels of vitamin D, especially those who don't get regular sunlight. This is why just drinking milk isn't always enough. You need to be sure that your vitamin D levels are supporting the calcium you're consuming. If you're someone who gets frequent night cramps, try this. Have a small glass of warm, low-fat milk about an hour before bed. Not too much. Just enough to deliver the calcium your muscles need. Add a sprinkle of cinnamon if you'd like, which can help regulate blood sugar. Many seniors who make this simple change notice a drop in those early morning cramps that used to disrupt their sleep. And here's one more thing. Milk isn't just about prevention. The warm temperature alone can help your muscles relax before sleep. When you drink it mindfully and calmly, it signals your body to prepare for rest. That calm alone can reduce muscle tension. In some cases, what starts as a small bedtime routine turns into a full-blown ritual of healing. Your legs begin to feel less tight, your sleep becomes deeper, and your mornings dash brighter. Now, let's move to a food that's the complete opposite of milk. It's crunchy, colorful, and often praised for being heart-healthy. But there's one specific way to eat it that makes it especially powerful against leg cramps. The third food on our list might already be sitting in your kitchen, often tossed onto salads or enjoyed as a snack on its own. We're talking about avocados. Yes, that smooth, buttery fruit that's been labeled a superfood by every health magazine under the sun. And here's the truth. When it comes to preventing leg cramps, especially for seniors, avocado lives up to the hype, but only when you understand why. At first glance, avocados seem like a simple indulgence. They're creamy, satisfying, and full of healthy fats. But beneath that soft green flesh is a mineral that your aging muscles desperately need: potassium. This mineral isn't just a nice-to-have, it's an essential electrolyte that helps control muscle contractions, nerve signals, and even the balance of fluids inside and outside your muscle cells. And when potassium levels drop too low, that's when the leg cramps start creeping in, tight, painful, and sometimes paralyzing. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Most people think bananas are the go-to potassium food. But avocados actually contain more potassium per serving than bananas, with less sugar. That's a big deal for seniors, especially if you're managing blood sugar levels or watching your carbohydrate intake. Avocados don't cause a sugar spike, and they deliver the mineral support your muscles crave, making them a safer, steadier solution. But that's not all. Avocados are also packed with magnesium, another key nutrient for relaxing muscles. Magnesium and potassium work as a team. One soothes the nervous system, The other balances your muscle contractions. Without both, your legs are left vulnerable to cramping, twitching, and that unbearable tightness behind your knees or in the arches of your feet. Many seniors don't realize they're mildly deficient in both of these minerals. The result? Nights filled with cramping and days filled with discomfort. And here's a gentle warning. As we age, our kidneys become less efficient at regulating minerals like potassium, especially if you're taking diuretics or blood pressure medications. These medications can cause your body to lose potassium through urine. So even if you're eating enough, you may not be holding on to it. That's why nutrient-dense foods like avocado are so important. They help refill your potassium stores slowly and naturally, without the risk of overloading. Some seniors start by spreading half an avocado on a slice of whole grain toast. Others mash it into a soft guacamole and pair it with veggies. However you choose to eat it, just remember your muscles feel it. Not immediately, perhaps, but over time, you may begin to notice fewer Charlie horses waking you up, less stiffness in your calves, and a more stable feeling when you stand after sitting for a while. So if you've been waking up in the night, clutching your leg in pain and waiting for the spasm to pass, this one fruit might be the silent hero you've been missing. But what happens when a food looks healthy, yet hides something that might worsen cramps for some seniors? The fourth food on our list might surprise you. It's often seen as a healthy alternative to soda, and many seniors choose it because it feels refreshing, natural, and good for digestion. But coconut water, while marketed as a hydrating miracle, has a hidden side that every senior dealing with leg cramps should know about. On the surface, coconut water looks like the perfect solution. It's light, low in calories, and often labeled as an electrolyte-rich drink. And to be fair, it does contain some important nutrients like potassium and magnesium that help with muscle function. But here's where the story takes a turn. Most store-bought coconut waters are not the fresh, untouched nectar from a green coconut on a tropical tree. Instead, they're processed, bottled, and often loaded with added sugars or hidden preservatives. These sweetened versions can do more harm than good, especially if you're managing diabetes, blood pressure, or other age-related conditions. And here's how it connects directly to your legs. Too much sugar in your bloodstream pulls water away from your muscle tissues. That's right, excess sugar actually dehydrates your cells, even though you feel like you're drinking something hydrating. This dehydration weakens the smooth function of your muscles and nerves. And without enough fluid surrounding your muscle fibers, spasms and cramps become more frequent and more intense. Plus, if the coconut water you're drinking is very low sodium, and you're sweating during a walk or just moving more than usual, you might accidentally trigger electrolyte imbalance. It's a paradox. You think you're rehydrating with coconut water, but you're not getting enough sodium or other balancing minerals to stabilize your muscles. Your leg cramps may actually worsen without you knowing why. Another often overlooked issue is how your kidneys respond to large volumes of potassium, especially when it comes from processed coconut water. If you're on medications like ACE inhibitors or certain heart pills, too much potassium can build up and affect not just your muscles, but also your heart rhythm. That's a scary reality for many older adults who never get warned about this interaction. So what's the bottom line here? Coconut water isn't bad across the board. In its raw, unsweetened, and organic form, taken in moderation, it can still be a good option. But the danger lies in treating it like a daily go-to drink without reading the label. If your bottle has added sugars, low sodium, or strange ingredients you can't pronounce, it's not doing your legs or your health any favors. Instead of relying on commercial coconut water, some seniors have switched to simple infused water with lemon, cucumber, or a pinch of sea salt. This allows your body to absorb fluids more effectively while still getting mild electrolyte support without the risk of sugar overload or mineral imbalance. And if you're someone who drinks coconut water daily because you believed it would fix your cramps, it may be time to take a second look. Sometimes solutions hide inside the very thing is helping. Now that we've covered a misunderstood liquid, the next item is something you might already have in your spice cabinet, but its effect on your legs is far more powerful than flavor alone. Let's talk about something small, fragrant, and ancient: turmeric. Yes, the golden spice you may already be sprinkling into your tea or adding to warm milk at bedtime. You might have heard it helps with inflammation or arthritis, and that's true. But what you may not realize is just how deeply turmeric can affect your leg muscles, especially when it comes to cramps, and how to actually get its full power to work for you instead of letting it go to waste. Turmeric has been called nature's ibuprofen for a reason. The key compound inside turmeric, curcumin, has been shown in multiple studies to lower inflammation markers in the body. This is crucial because muscle cramps in seniors aren't always caused by dehydration or low minerals. Sometimes they stem from inflammatory stress that builds up silently in your tissues. Overworked leg muscles, poor blood flow, and even tiny micro tears in aging muscle fibers can trigger inflammation that leads to that sudden nighttime seizing pain in your calf or foot. Now, here's the part most people miss. Turmeric doesn't just soothe inflammation. It improves circulation, especially in the legs, by helping your blood vessels relax and expand. That means better oxygen delivery, better nutrient flow, and less chance of nerve misfires that cause muscle spasms. And this is important, turmeric on its own isn't enough. You might have a spice jar that's been sitting in your cabinet for months, but if you're just adding a pinch to your dinner, you're probably not getting the real benefit. That's because curcumin, the active ingredient, is notoriously hard for the body to absorb. Without the right combination, your digestive system simply flushes it out. To truly use turmeric as a tool against leg cramps, you need to pair it with black pepper. That's right. The compound in black pepper called piperine boosts curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. This tiny addition turns a weak golden powder into a powerful anti-cramp warrior. Some seniors also mix turmeric with healthy fats like olive oil or almond milk to help it absorb better. You can imagine the results. A warm turmeric drink in the evening, properly paired with black pepper and healthy fats, does more than help you sleep. It gets into your bloodstream, calms your nerve endings, eases inflammation in your leg muscles, and can prevent those stabbing spasms that jolt you awake at 2 a.m. Many viewers who tried this combination nightly reported more than just cramp relief. They noticed fewer aches in their knees, less stiffness when getting up in the morning, and even improved energy during walks. That's the kind of subtle, consistent healing that helps you reclaim control, not just over your legs, but over your daily life. Still, not all turmeric powders are created equal. If you're buying pre-mixed golden milk drinks, always check the label for added sugars or fillers. Go for pure, organic turmeric and combine it yourself so you know exactly what's going into your body. After all, this is your mobility. We're talking about your independence, your ability to stand up and move without flinching. And here's something else that might surprise you. The next food is not a spice, not a fruit, but a smooth, creamy favorite you've probably eaten for decades. But when it's made the wrong way, it can sabotage your muscles without you even noticing. Let's move on to something that feels like comfort in a bowl: yogurt. You've probably been told for years that yogurt is great for bones and digestion. And that's partly true. Yogurt, when chosen wisely, can be a muscle's best friend. But when chosen wrong, it can become a sneaky reason your legs cramp up in the middle of the night, or even as you're walking to the kitchen in the morning. See, not all yogurt is created equal. The key lies in what's added in and what's missing. Many store-bought yogurts targeted at seniors and healthy eaters are loaded with added sugars, artificial flavors, or thickening agents. These sugars do far more than mess with your waistline. When you consume sugar-rich yogurts, it leads to blood sugar spikes, and that's a major red flag for leg health. Why? Because high blood sugar disrupts the delicate balance of magnesium, calcium, and potassium in your bloodstream, the very trio your muscles rely on to contract and relax smoothly. When these minerals drop, your muscles become confused. They tense up without reason. They spasm. That's when a cramp grabs hold of your calf like a clamp and doesn't let go. But yogurt doesn't need to be your enemy. When you reach for the right kind, it can actually help your muscles recover, rebuild, and resist spasms. Plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt, for instance, is rich in natural calcium, which supports nerve signal function. It also contains probiotics, which help your gut absorb nutrients like magnesium and B vitamins more efficiently. And B vitamins, especially B12, play a vital role in preventing tingling and weakness in the legs. So here's what you want to do. Choose plain, full-fat yogurt with no added sugars. And if you want to sweeten it a little, add fresh blueberries or a drizzle of honey. You'll be fueling your muscles, not confusing them. Make it a regular part of your breakfast or a calming snack before bed. Just be sure it's real, clean, and made to heal, not the sugary kind dressed up as health food. Now, you might be wondering, what's the final food on our list? It's often seen as the go-to for hydration, but it might be the sneakiest cause of cramping yet. Let's talk about something that sounds harmless, almost too simple to be a threat: bottled water. Yes, plain bottled water, especially the kind labeled purified or distilled, might actually be contributing to your leg cramps. It sounds strange, right? You've likely been told all your life to drink more water, to stay hydrated and keep your body functioning. And that advice is absolutely true, up to a point. But here's where it gets tricky, especially for seniors. You see, not all water is created equal. Distilled or overly purified bottled water often lacks essential minerals like magnesium, potassium, and calcium. These are the exact electrolytes your muscles rely on to fire properly and release without cramping. So while you may be drinking more than enough water, if it's stripped of minerals, it may actually flush out what little you have left in your system. Think of it like rinsing a sponge with plain water over and over until there's nothing left inside. This kind of water, ironically, can lead to something called electrolyte imbalance, especially if you're sweating, taking diuretics, or on medications that already affect fluid levels. And when your body doesn't have enough of the right minerals, the signals between your brain and leg muscles get crossed. Your calf may suddenly tighten like a knot, or your thigh may seize up in the middle of a peaceful nap, leaving you gasping. In pain, symptoms of this aren't always dramatic at first. You might notice your legs feel heavier, your feet tingle after standing too long, or you wake up at night with a dull ache in your shins. These are the whispers your body uses to tell you something's out of balance. But don't panic. There's a very easy fix. Choose mineral water or spring water instead of purified. These options usually contain small, but important, amounts of natural electrolytes. Or better yet, add a pinch of sea salt or electrolyte drops to your drinking water during the day. That one tiny shift could prevent that sharp, painful cramp from stealing your sleep tonight or your freedom to walk tomorrow. So, there you have it. 7 foods and drinks, some surprising, some common, that either invite cramps or help drive them away. But don't worry. In the next part, we'll show you the foods and habits that not only prevent these cramps, but actually rebuild strength, power, and confidence in your legs. Now that we've uncovered the hidden culprits behind those painful leg cramps, it's time to shift the tone, because this is where the healing begins. You don't have to live in fear of your legs giving out, of waking up at night clutching your calves, or feeling like you have no control over what your body does anymore. There are foods and habits simple, affordable, natural that have the power to restore balance, support your muscles, and give you back that steady, confident step you once enjoyed. Let's walk through them together, one by one. First, let's talk about bananas, but not for the reason most people think. Yes, they contain potassium, and that helps. But more importantly, bananas contain a balance of sugar, fiber, and magnesium. When you eat a banana, especially with a handful of nuts, or a small spoon of peanut butter, it helps fuel your muscles steadily rather than spiking your blood sugar and draining your mineral reserves. For seniors who deal with fatigue in the legs or a tendency to cramp after short walks, a banana with healthy fat can be the perfect mid-morning solution. One gentle change, one powerful outcome. Another hero in your corner? Leafy greens, especially spinach and kale. These are rich in magnesium and calcium, the two minerals your muscles beg for when they're tightening without reason. A daily serving even. Half a cup is like sending a thank you card to your muscles. You may start to notice your knees don't feel as stiff when you rise from a chair, or your calves aren't throbbing at night. And here's the key: these greens don't have to be raw. Saute them in a bit of olive oil, add them to soups, or blend them into a smoothie. Make them easy, make them tasty. Your legs won't just stop cramping, they'll start cooperating. Let's not forget hydration with intention. Instead of reaching for plain purified water, try sipping water with electrolyte-rich additions like a slice of cucumber, a squeeze of lemon, or a dash of Himalayan pink salt. These simple enhancements help keep your body's internal wiring balanced. Think of it like tuning up a car, just enough so that everything runs a little smoother, a little quieter. The goal isn't just more water, it's smarter water. And there's a secret weapon most seniors overlook: chia seeds. These tiny seeds may look like nothing, but once soaked in water, they form a gel-like consistency and deliver powerful hydration along with magnesium, calcium, and omega-3 south. If leg cramps have been a long-term struggle, chia seeds can help you rebuild muscle elasticity and reduce nighttime spasms. Just a spoonful in yogurt, oatmeal, or a smoothie can make a difference over time. Imagine drifting off to sleep without dread, waking up without pain. That's the kind of power these tiny seeds hold. Lastly, never underestimate the benefit of movement after meals. A 10-minute walk around your home, or even gentle stretching while watching TV, helps distribute nutrients and oxygen to your legs. It prevents fluid from pooling in your lower limbs and supports your heart in moving minerals where they're needed. It's not about running marathons. It's about honoring your body with circulation. That's where healing begins, in gentle, everyday choices. Every one of these solutions isn't just a suggestion. They're small promises to your future self. A banana, a glass of smarter water, a short walk. They add up. They create a day that doesn't end in pain, and a night that doesn't begin with fear. You're not chasing youth. You're reclaiming strength on your terms, in your time. You've made it this far, and I want you to pause for just a moment, because that matters. It means you care about your body, your future, and your ability to move through life with less pain and more freedom. That takes strength. Not the kind of strength you measure in dumbbells or stairs climbed, but the quiet strength it takes to stay hopeful when your legs feel like strangers. To stay curious when the world keeps telling you, this is just part of getting older. Let me say it clearly. You are not broken. You are not too late. And you absolutely are not powerless. Yes, aging is hard. Some mornings feel heavier than others. Some nights feel longer than they should. But you still have time. You still have power. And every small decision, from the food on your plate to the stretch in your morning can help bring back the lightness in your legs and the steadiness in your steps. That's not wishful thinking. That's biology working in your favor when you give it just a little help. Maybe you've struggled with this quietly for years. Maybe you thought no one really understood how frustrating and scary it is to stand up and feel your calves seize, or to wake at night from a deep cramp that steals your breath. But now you know there are ways forward. You've learned what helps, what harms, and what heals. You've taken the first step, and that's often the hardest one to take. So take another step with me. If this video opened your eyes or reminded you that you still have control, please type one thing you learned in the comments. It might help someone else who's silently suffering. And if you haven't already, click like, click subscribe. There's more wisdom here waiting for you. More tools, more comfort, more answers. Because your legs carry more than just your body. They carry your freedom. Let's protect that together.